John, it's Jim O'Brien, Big Jim in Detroit. How are you, sir?
Very good, Jim. Nice to hear you.
Good to hear you too. It's been a while, man. You sound great. 1,000 Hands, I love it. So can I play it? Can I start off, by the way? I wanted to play a clip of the interview or of one of the songs. Where does music come from? If I can play this down the line for you, John, because we have a theory. All right, first of all, what a cool sound, John. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the second thing is, you do realize that I've already got friends here who are going to sample this, and you're going to hear this in dance clubs. That song's going to become, It is.
I love that. Yes.
Can't you hear it, though, in your head? I mean, kind of, you can hear sampling, putting 818s to it and stuff, and just the 808s and the beats to it, it'll work.
Yeah, I'll send you a long version of it if you like. Let me write down your email.
Oh, bigjim at WCSX.com. That's it. Yeah, big Jim at WCSX.com.
CSX.com.
That's us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim,
yeah.
I'll send you a long version that was made. It's kind of funky, too.
Oh, so, okay, that was what we were saying. There's so many, I get so many questions about this project that for 30 years, you've had this bouncing around in your head. And then you said something in an interview that really resonated with me, John. You just said, life happens, and it got put on a back burner, right?
It's true. I've got so many things on the back burner driving me crazy.
So how did you keep this thread? In life, we've all started projects and haven't finished them. What was the impetus to finally finish this after so many years?
Well, about 2 years ago, this producer, Michael Franklin, who knew Brian Chatton, who worked with me on the songs originally in Big Bear near L.A., he called me and said, look, we've got more money to finish the album now. That was like 26 years later. And I said, oh, good. Which album? He said, the one you started in Big Bear. And I said, okay. Well, the tapes are in my garage. So I sent them to him, and he put them through a gizmo. You go straight to the computer. So they sounded really, really good. And he asked me what was the idea of the album. I said, well, we got Chris Square and Alan White to play on it in 1990. So I just wanted to add more musicians along the way that I've bumped into. And he said, listen, John, I know so many musicians. I toured with Chuck Berry for 15 years, keyboards. And I said, oh, my God. And he started putting people on the album. This is like 2018, September, October. And he got Ian Anderson to play on a track. And then he got Chick Corea to play on a track with Billy Cobham. And he just took off. And it was one of those things you think, this is a dream come true to get these songs out there into the world. But it wasn't going to happen because we couldn't find a record company until just now.
Well, the song Activate, I assume that's Ian playing on there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful song.
Yeah, he didn't tell me what was happening. He just sent me the mix, and I said, who's the guy playing flute? I know that sound from somewhere. And he said, oh, it's Ian Anderson. I said, perfect. Let's get other people on the record.
And I found myself another track. That's an interesting song. I have to be honest. I liked it more the second time I listened to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it happens. It's just a very simple song.
Yeah.
It's about finding my wife, Jane, and then she sings on the record with me. And I'm one of those guys, very blessed. I'm in love with my wife, and we have a great life together. We tour together. We're sort of like two peas in a pod, you know?
And then the other one, 1,000 Hands that come up. To me, that is such a big song. That's something that Yes or Asia could do. I mean, it's a wall of sound in there. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I love putting that together. And to be able to get Jean-Luc Ponty to play on that track and Chick Corea. And Billy Cobham, when Michael got Billy Cobham to play on it, I just phoned him up and said, I love the mix, but just turn the drums up, please. So you have this perfect drummer on the record. Incredible.
But you growing up, with Yes and progressive rock and prog rock, these long arcing songs. So for you, this process was probably, I wouldn't say easier, but is second nature fair to say? I mean, that's something you did starting out.
Yeah, you're right. Second nature for me, because you just think about making music as like an adventure. And I was fortunate when we started Yes, 50 years ago, we didn't know if we'd last more than a couple of years. And then 5 years later, you're still touring and records are selling, and we're making long-form pieces of music, which is sort of a unique idea in a way, very well structured, that you realize years later that they're going to last a long time, but not 50 years. But here we are now, and they're still great. It's a beautiful feeling.
And the connection, I love talking to artists about this. John Anderson, our guest here of the new solo album, 1,000 Hands, Chapter 1 is everywhere now. What does Detroit mean to an artist? Like when you guys were really coming over from England to play in the Motor City, did it mean something more than just another gig?
Mega, because we played, I can't remember the place now, it was a big, it was a basketball arena in downtown. And we arrived after there been riots there, and we got in there and realized this audience is not going to, you got to love what you do. They're going to love what you are, what you're doing. But you get on stage and got to play good tonight. Come on, we're in Detroit because of the music, Music City.
And your dates out here at Pine Knob, the music theater, yes, playing there, and you're talking about Cobo and Olympia and so many great venues.
Yeah, Cobo Hall, that was it, man. When you're in Music City, you got to be good.
I can't imagine you being nervous, John. You don't get nervous when you perform, do you?
Not really, but after the show, you get nervous.
Okay.
What you've just been through musically, you're just so blessed to do what we did in the 70s as a band, performing, Close to the Edge and Fragile Music. These are long-form pieces of music. And you could hold an audience for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it was magical, very beautiful times.
I do want to tell a story, and I'm not sure that our listeners are aware of this, and I hope you don't mind. Years ago, I reached out to you because we had a listener who was going through cancer, and I think you're playing at the Magic Bag here in Ferndale. And you not only reached out to them, they were fans and wanted to meet you. You brought them in for rehearsals, and they hung out on stage. And you treated them like royalty. And John, you didn't have to do that, but you went so far above and beyond, and it still resonated with them all these years later. And I just wanted to say thank you. That was something that I still remember and tell people about when I talk about when they mention Yes and John Anderson. I'm like, John Anderson is a great guy. That's just a great example. And thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I always feel very grateful for any fans that I bump into, no matter where, because you never know who you're going to meet, because there's a lot of angels around.
And so now I assume when the world gets back to normal, when we just, move forward here, do you have intentions to get out and tour this?
Yeah, I like to move forward, not going back. We're not going back to the old days. We're going to the future now. And we're going to become better people, better organized people, better everything in the 2021. And this experience in the 2020 is all about what happened in the 60s. The whole idea of the 60s was all about, peace, love, freedom, and everything. I was a hippie like everybody at that time. And on tour last year, I was saying 2020 is going to be an incredible year of change. I didn't realize it was going to be like this.
Yeah, you kind of swung for the fences there, John, didn't you? Wow. Okay.
But next year, it'll all come clear what happened, why it happened, and we get rid of the orange man. I got to say that. Sorry.
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing what lies in store for you. This album is amazing. It's fun to listen to, and I love the way it jumps around the way that your history in music, John. That it's not just one sound. There's this wall of sound, and the artists that you've worked with. Just so many cool things in here. You should be very proud of this. You should be very proud of this project.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, because it's being able to talk to people around the world about it. We finished it in Christmas 2018, and last year record companies were saying, no, it's not quite our album. We're not that interested. And so I didn't worry about it, because I just thought, I'll give it away. I don't care anymore.
Well, you get here to Detroit. We'll set up something here. We'll make sure that you're taken care of here in the Motor City. You know that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You betcha.
All right. John Anderson, you're the best. Thank you so much for everything you've done over the years. And, my wish for 2022 or 23 or whenever is maybe someday everything gets kind of put in the past, and you guys, we can do one more tour with Yes, maybe if all the cards line up.
You'll be the first person I call, okay?
You better. Okay, John Anderson, you be well, okay?
Thank you so much. Bye
Thank
now.
you. Cheers.